Why Pakistan's Taliban sanctions panel role at UNSC is no victory. Erase the fine print. While Pakistan is set to chair the Taliban Sanctions Committee of the UN Security Council in 2025, it failed to get what it wanted to secure chairmanship of other UN sanctions committees, possibly due to its dismal record of keeping cross-border terrorism emanating from the country in check. Apart from chairing the UNSC Taliban Sanctions Committee, Pakistan will also be the vice chair of the Counter-Terrorism Committee of the 15-nation UN body. According to a list of chairs of the subsidiary bodies of the UN Security Council, Denmark will chair the 1267 ISIL and Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee of the UN Security Council, while Russia and Sierra Leone will be vice chairs for 2025. However, Pakistan has actually received far less than what it wanted, given the world's doubts on Islamabad's credibility. For the first time in the history of the UN Security Council, the informal working group IWG on sanctions will have two co-chairs. Pakistan will co-chair the Documentation IWG with Denmark and the Sanctions IWG with Greece. Nanan Pakistan had demanded the 1267 Sanctions Committee, 1540 Non-Proliferation Sanctions Committee, 1988 Taliban Committee, and chair of the 1373 Counter-Terrorism Committee (CTC), but only got the Taliban Sanctions Committee, much less than what it had wanted. Pakistan is also co-chairing the 1373 CTC, which is not very substantial and is merely ceremonial in nature. India had chaired the 1373 CTC in 2011 and 2022. Decisions in the committees require consensus of members, so the current allocation is far below the expectations of Pakistani leadership. Records show a glaring instance of state-sponsored duplicity, as out of 254 individuals and 89 entities, Pakistan alone has more than 50 terrorist individuals or entities linked to Pakistan that are currently designated in the 1267 UNSC Sanctions Committee. These individuals include UN-proscribed terrorists like Masood Azhar and Saad Hussein Rizvi. Hence, Pakistan has not been allocated this committee to ensure it does not get a free hand and misuse the position. In reality, the allocation has dealt a heavy blow to Pakistan, as its allocation remains far below its expectations despite sending a delegation led by Bilawal Bhutto to the UN, possibly due to its poor track record on cross-border terrorism. Despite failing to curb terrorism on its soil, Pakistan showed an uncompromising and undeserving attitude that delayed a consensus from being formed by 6 months, which greatly annoyed other UNSC members. Nanan India, which co-chaired the Counter-Terrorism Committee in 2022, has consistently reminded the international community that Pakistan is host to the world's largest number of UN-proscribed terrorists and entities, including notorious terrorist Osama bin Laden, who was found and eliminated by American forces in Pakistan in 2011. Swipe left for next video. In a big blow to Pakistan, Russia and Guyana, both sharing cordial ties with India, are vice chairs in the Taliban Sanctions Committee, which will prevent Pakistan from gaining a free hand. Pakistan is also co-chairing 2 IWGs with Denmark and Greece, who are also friends with India. This means that India can use its diplomatic might and close partnership with friends in the council to prevent Pakistan from making any adverse steps. Notably, India had also chaired the same 1988 Taliban Sanctions Committee during its UNSC 200 and 2122 term, along with the chair of the 1970 Libya Sanctions Committee. Latest blogs.